Hello, and welcome back, you guys. It is Copy in a Cold Case Monday. Jeez, I'm losing days. Anyway, welcome back to the cafe. I appreciate you guys joining us today so very much, guys. Please make sure to hit the like button, share this out today. We're looking into the cold case of Miss Jennifer Lynn Faye. Where is she and what happened with her, guys? It's been a long time now. So let's look into that, give it a little bit of a talk, and maybe something else. Who knows? Depends on how long this takes. That being said, you know the rest. And here we go. Here we go.
Trigger.
All right. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining me. Great to see you guys. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And here we are. Come on in. Grab a seat, get comfortable, if you will. I appreciate you guys so very much. It's snowing, guys. It's snowing. It's been 60, 78 degrees some days this past week, whatever. It's snowing now. What the HE? What the hell? Period. What is going on? Crazy. I'm sick of it. But it's better than being under tornado warnings and losing your power 3 times since Saturday because the storm's here. So I guess you take one or the other. I don't know. It's freezing here right now, but it was nice over the weekend, other than the rain and the tornadoes, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Ew. People in here trying to make me jealous. It's okay. That's okay. The cueros are like in the morning. Just saying. No, it's okay. It's okay. Mom Bear was here. She's supposed to be joining us. I don't know what happened, but probably some kind of connection thing. She'll be back. I'm sure. Yes. I are sure. She started into the boot. Who we got joining us here this morning while we're waiting on her? Mikey's in the house. The last 24. What's up, bro? Miss Lacey, welcome back to you. Good to see you. Raul Kurbitz, welcome back to you. Miss Stormy, you're in the house. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Alicia J, welcome back, dear. Dag Burn, Johnny Gobbles, Dead Floozy Mother. Thank you. Welcome. Great to see you. Alicia J, Stormy. Let's see. Paula Fitzhenry, welcome back, dear. Good to see you. Of course, Mama Bear. Leslie and Billy's in the house. Good to see you today. Of course, Wisdom Speaks. Thank you for joining us. As always, come on in, grab a seat, Grab your coffee. You're gonna need it. This one's a wild one. I've been looking at some crazy things, and we may have, if we have some time, we're gonna talk about another story, maybe, just because it bugs me. It's not really about a person that went missing. It's an unsolved mystery for sure, and a cold case for sure. But I don't even know how to classify this one, you guys, and I feel like I have to talk to somebody about it. I was researching stuff this morning, and I ran into it on accident. I was reading this, and I was like, "What in the hell is this?" It's crazy, but hey, I don't know. I just figured it's a good talking topic, and if we get through Jennifer Faye's, it's sometime we're gonna look into this one because it bugs me and it's weird as hell. It's strange, and I want your guys' feelings on it too. Lisa Joe, yo yo yo, hello and welcome. Hey to you. And there she is. Can you hear me?
Yep.
What happened?
All right. Connect. Hold on.
Uh-huh. Jess. Did everybody have a good weekend? I hope. Is everybody safe and sound from all these horrible storms everybody was getting hit by?
We are over here.
Yeah, it's freezing here and snowing. You didn't hear that part.
Yeah, it snowed here. Or I got a thing. I was looking at my weather and it said snow will stop in 16 minutes. I was like, snow?
Yeah, ours stopped for right now, but it was snowing this morning. And it's like, what are you doing? Mother Nature must have been partying over the weekend, got a little messed up, so doesn't know what she's doing. That's all I can think of. She was in them weird drugs or something, and yeah, she don't know what the hell she's doing right now. Get your shit straight, Mother Nature. It was like almost 80 degrees here the other day. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful sunshine, and yeah, we pretty much have the same weather. Yeah, then this. Not to mention the storm, windy, stormy shit that knocked my power out 3 times in the past 2 days. It comes back on. Well, I got lucky Saturday because it was out, or Sunday morning. It was out Saturday night. It came on. I did my show Sunday, and then went right back off again, and it stayed off until about 3, maybe. This was it 3. The power. Yeah, it's about 3:30. My mother-in-law said when it finally popped back on. Everybody's sound asleep, and the whole house goes poof. You know what I mean? Didn't think about turning anything off, and just everybody's like, "Whoa!" TV blasting, the lights come on. It's like, what the shit?
That's funny.
Yeah. So, anyway, and then my internet company, they're such idiots. We all know that. Okay, we all know how Optimum is. Optimum are it's a joke. So right after I get off of the phone yesterday with Ohio Edison, I get a phone call. You'll get a kick out of this. So I answer the phone. I say hello, and I hear, "This is Optimum. We were just calling to let you know that there's an outage in your area."
Really? Couldn't tell.
Are you sure? Because since the power's out, the internet's going to go out with that. Just to make sure. And I looked at the phone literally like, what? Bye. I can't stand that company. I can't. So yeah,
They're special.
I mean, that was such a whatever. But yeah, when the power came on, oh buddy, it was a shock to the world. I think everything was left on it because I had my kids were here. Randy was making dinner, which thank God that got to be finished. The oven stayed hot enough that it finished making. She made a meatloaf, and it was almost to the end when it kicked out. So we ate in the dark, and then we stared at each other for a while until they decided to go home. And then I picked up a book and tried to read that, but it was so shitty here that there was no sun, so there was no light. It was a very boring day, folks. When you have no electricity, it reminds me of like I felt like the Waltons or something. I'm like, all right, guys, let's pull the Little House on the Prairie thing and see what we can pull out of this. We went to bed early last night. I'll put it that way.
Right.
Until 3 o'clock when everything went, and the whole world was illuminated. So she had to get up early anyway to go to work, so that was like her alarm clock. Anyway, interesting. So cross your fingers, everything stays on. I think now that now it's sunny. See what the hell is going on? Kind of sunny. It's still freezing. I can feel it. Good morning, Miss Paula. How are you today? And Stitches in the house. Good to see you too. Thank you for joining us. Yes, please do grab some coffee. Hit the like button, guys. We're looking into the missing case of Miss Jennifer Lynn Fay. What happened and where is she? And if we have some time, which I think we will, yes, cross everything: fingers, toes, eyes, elbows, butt hairs, whatever you got to cross. I don't care. I cannot go a whole another day with no power. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. I had to tell Caden 3,500 times, do not open the refrigerator. Do not open the refrigerator. Do not open the refrigerator. Do not open. He opened the refrigerator. I said, why do you keep saying that? I can't get it. I said, because it got to stay cold. And we don't want things going bad. Hello, Miss Alicia. Welcome back. Good day and hello, Miss Cassie Ermagerd. Yeah. So luckily we made it. Everything did nothing spoiled. Everything was okay.
Good.
And thank God it came on when it did, because like I said, it got cold, so the furnace kicked back on. It's cold. It is cold. Yeah. I was surprised it was out. The power usually doesn't stay out that long. So there's somebody must have hit something or done something, or my guess is a tree came down on something. And our power runs off of because we're out in the township area. We're running off of one of those big electric grid things.
Mm.
So anytime anything happens there, like I think it was last year, maybe the year before, it froze because it was probably the year before, because it was so cold, and it just shut everything off. And it was like minus 500 or something. So no heat, and we were literally freezing, like with the icicles off our nose type shit. It was crazy. We figured out ours was there you go. That'll definitely do it. We've had those too. I had one blow up right next to my house here. Exploded. It exploded. Where's that star BBBB? Lost power earlier. About 1, came back on about 3. You're in Ohio too, Stitches. I don't know. It wasn't even a big deal. And it was still causing, like, it wasn't like tornado weather or anything. And there really wasn't too much bad wind. It was just barely raining. So I'm like, what the hell is this big deal, you know? Good morning, Miss Peggy. Afternoon, sorry, it's a little later. But I had some things I had to handle and get done since the power was out. That's why we're running late today. So sorry. And that's why there was no scary stuff last night. I may try it tonight, but I'm afraid to set a schedule with it, because every time I do, something happens. I'm in East Central. Oh, yeah. Okay, see. And I have to wonder if we're sharing stuff with other places, because it was not bad here. We had a little bit of stuff, but it was other places. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's say we had loud thunder and lots of lightning a couple nights or so ago.
Oh, yeah. We did too.
And that was really, I mean, it got windy here after that, but nothing.
Well, that night I could understand. That's why when we lost it then, I was like, okay, I get. Oh, yesterday, I don't understand unless it was from the problem from the night before and they took it down to fix it
Mm,
again. You know what I mean? I don't.
yeah,
But why would it come back on for that? Just didn't make sense unless it was temp. I don't know.
who
All I know
knows?
is I was bored out of my damn mind yesterday. I had nothing to watch, not here or TV. I
Mm.
couldn't read because it was dark. Reading by candlelight just doesn't do it for me. Sorry. There's coffee frozen to the side of my car. What did you do, Miss Alicia? I don't know if I want to know. Yes, share the sunshine with us, Stormy, please. You still fighting with the horse, Miss Wisdom?
They're just arguing. They're not fighting.
Oh, arguing. Okay. Jeez. Her and that dog, they go round and round. Welcome to Ohio, where one day you have a tornado. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll snow here today. It'll be 90 tomorrow. Ohio is the most bipolar weather, I think, in the whole United States, in my opinion. In my opinion, of course.
So here it's 42. The real feel supposedly is 55. Tomorrow's going to be 70.
Oh, okay. Yep. 1 minute. 1 minute.
When I got coffee the other day, when they handed it to me, we slopped it a little and it froze instantly. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, you guys are colder, way colder than we are up there, which I understand, but
Hello, SRB.
there she is. SRBBBBBBB. Guten Morgen. Hello, hello. It's the armpit of America, and yes, it is. Kind of smells. Come to Michigan, hold our burners. And we're not too far apart. Like I said, between you and Mama Bear, myself, Zelda, somebody else lives in Michigan too, or Indiana too. The three, and well, Pennsylvania. The four of our states are all pretty much the same
Mm-hmm.
weather-wise, and it just sucks when it wants to. Good morning, SRB. All right, come on.
Cassie, are you calling your mom names?
Let's see something, guys. I gotta fix something here. Hang on just for a minute, please.
That's not cool.
What'd you do?
I guess another creator used to call SRB Senior B.
Senior B?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Oh, because of
different.
the SR and then the B.
Oh, senior bit. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. You know what? Hold on a minute here.
I don't blame you. I would too.
Hang on here. I think. Hold tight. I will be right back. Okay.
Okay. Hello, crime mobsters. Thomas. Oh, yeah. I don't know where I put my elevator music. Hold on. He's back. Too late.
Sorry about that. I had to fix something on the title page. My apologies. All right. We should be good now. Okay. You are what? My children have decided that pizza boxes from dinner last year are now the coolest toys ever. Okay. Are they sliding down the stairs on them? Definitely needed 30 hours too many last week. Oh. You need a vacation, Mikey. Senior B. That's so funny.
Seriously, my kids even now will have more fun in their teenagers with a huge like refrigerator box or something than they would anything else.
I could have fun with the refrigerator box.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Cut some holes in it. I could go hide in there. Nobody could find me.
Exactly.
That would be awesome.
I need to clean out this little closet underneath our stairs so I can get in there and hide.
Is that where you keep Harry?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. You got one of them houses. Oh yeah, they do. They do. Refrigerator boxes are awesome. The last one I ever had anything fun flush was when I was a kid. I had a half of one. Well, the quarter maybe. The bottom half it was filled with Legos. Filled. That's how many Legos I had when I was a kid. I don't know if that's a good idea for you, Alicia. But I want a closet for that. With all those, I could see you like, nope, you're going in there. You're going over there, and you're going in there. Those closets are cool, though. I think it'd make for a hell of an office or something. If it, depending on how big it is, if it's nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not that big.
No.
It's good for tornado shelter, but
Oh well, yeah.
I mean, you could probably make it a little hideout. You could get like a small, like a twin size mattress in there or some.
You could probably put a computer desk in there, and you know what I mean. Hide in there. Scrivener's error. Good morning or afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Hello, error.
Yes, he's that way. Error. Scrivener's. I think I'm saying it right. You know, I probably am not, but guys, make sure to click on the link that's pinned in the chat. Hop on over to Mama Bears, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell, please and thank you. It just takes a second. Appreciate ya. I appreciate you very much, all of y'all. Let's see. Oof. Holy shnikes. All right, guys. Hold on a minute here. Okay, hit the thumbs up. Miss Charlotte, welcome. And thank you guys. Looks like we have 23 people, 21 likes. You guys are on point today. Thank you guys so much. Wonderful to have you all here today. That storm of, I don't know, something seems to turn up every time I leave. Shoot, I couldn't get 30 minutes into the first day last time, and the truck already got towed. Jesus, Mikey. You are just not having good luck, bro. Period. That's not cool. Yes, what would they do without you, Mike? Truly. Probably not anything good. Just send more texts and more calls. Right? Shut your phone off. It's the only way you'd probably get any kind of rest. In my opinion. Love the lives. Here we meet in real. As much as I believe, I truly love this community, but I need to leave now. Cheers. Okay. Well, thank you, Raul. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, that was a couple months ago. Okay. Come on in, guys. Okay, so I'm going to back up here. Get some of these put in here and get some of this rolling so we can get moving, guys. Let's start off this morning with some missing posters, of course. First one I have is Sabrina Carrillo out of Houston, Texas. Last seen February 23rd of this year, 15 years old, 5'4", 140 pounds. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have updates on some of these. I'm trying to figure out how to get those. Working on it, you guys. But I don't know that she's still out there. And if she is, hopefully this helps to bring her home. She was last seen on February 23rd of 25 around 7:43 p.m. in the 5600 block Grapevine Street in Houston, Texas. And here we go. Never fails. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second, please.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is St. Patrick's Day. I forgot. Huh. So happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I'm not either. Oh well. Yay. Thank you, Alicia. I have a purple and it's different shades of purple striped shirt. Hello, Lisa Joe. How are ya? That's funny, Cass. Hello, CZ.
Okay, guys, sorry about that. That was the missus. She is having a not good day, so I had to have a little conversation. And thank you,
Sister?
Alicia. No, my wife.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you said your sister. I was like, huh?
The missus, sorry.
Oh.
Thank you for the info on that one, Alicia. I appreciate that. So moving on, we have Leah Van Schuik out of Plantation, Florida, last seen August 15th of 82. At that time, she was 17, 5'5", 125 pounds. Leah was last seen in Plantation on August 15th of 82. She has never been heard from again. She was living with a biker at the time of her disappearance. I remember going over this one before. And working in a bar in Hallandale Beach, Florida. Leah's family resided in New Jersey in 82 and reported her as missing as a missing person after she stopped calling them. New Jersey authorities are handling her investigation. Foul play is suspected in Leah's case. The biker she lived with is considered a suspect in her disappearance, but no charges have been filed against anyone in her case. Leah has a 3-inch scar on her outer left thigh and a brown birthmark on the inside of her left knee. This is what a age progressed photograph would be of what Leah could look like right now. If anybody has any information in regards to Leah's whereabouts, or if you yourself may see this, Miss Leah, please contact New Jersey State Police at 609-882-2000. Case number is H02588117. Thank you, guys. 1 minute. Let me see here. Next up, we have Blaine Decker out of Kingston Springs, Tennessee, last seen February 10th of this year. Blaine is 32 years old, 6'3", 180 pounds. Blaine was last known to be at the Roadway Inn in Kingston Springs, Tennessee. He left the location with his wife, Allison Decker. Blaine does not have a vehicle and uses rideshare services, and due to not having shelter, his family is worried for their well-being. If anybody knows anything in regards to Blaine and his whereabouts, their situation, please contact the Kingston Springs Police Department at 615-952-2110, case number 250220-0020. Thank you, guys.
That's really cool in stitches.
Isn't that called being, well, I hate to say it this way, but I was always told that was being cockeyed. Two different colored eyes, isn't that what that is? Is that not what that's called?
I don't know.
Different colored eyes, Jeanette. That's wild.
Cockeyed meant is crooked.
See, I'm probably wrong. I was raised hearing that, so I don't know. Hey, Critical, good to see you. That's really neat, though. I always wondered if they're two different colors, if you see differently out of them. Do you know what I mean? I know that sounds dumb, but I've always wondered that. It's definitely something that will definitely keep you unique. That's for sure.
Hey, critical. New Jersey can't find people in their own state. Why are they leading a missing person in Florida case?
Good point. Next up, we have Carson Atkins out of McDonough. Let's do that again. McDonough, Georgia. Heterochromia. That sounds a little better than cockeyed. Thank you, SRB. Last seen February 18th of this year, 5'7", 190 pounds. Carson was last seen in the area of North Bethany Road in McDonough, Georgia on February 18th. She was last seen wearing an orange Carhartt hoodie, black leggings, and black slides. If anybody has any information in regards to Carson's whereabouts, please contact the Henry County Police at 770-957-9121, case number 2025-0001-8605. Thank you, folks. All right. Let me see here. Next up, I have Shelton Sanders out of Columbia, South Carolina. Last seen June 19th of 2000. She was found safe too. Thank you. See, I'm going to have to figure out a way to find these, Alicia. Thank you. Last seen June 19th of 2001. 25 years old, 6'1", 225 pounds. Sanders has not been heard of since June 19th of 01. When he called his family and said that he was on his way home from Columbia, South Carolina, he was seen around 9:51 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Columbia, where he was planning a bachelor party for a friend. The phone call Shelton placed to his family in Rembert, South Carolina, was from his mobile phone. Police are saying that neither his cell phone nor his credit cards have been used since his disappearance. In April of 03, the 1988 Oldsmobile Regency Sanders was driving that night. He vanished, turned up in a parking lot at Greenbrier Apartments in Northeast Columbia. Police believe it had been abandoned since Shelton's disappearance on October 5th of 05. The police arrested 30-year-old Mark Anthony Richardson. He was charged with murder and taken to the Richmond County Jail. He was the last person with Sheldon while he was alive. If anybody has any whereabouts or any knowledge as to the whereabouts or situation of Sheldon Sanders, please contact Richmond County Sheriff at 803-576-3000, case number 030-525-1221. Moving on, let's see here. Stupid telemarketers. No. Oh, yeah. A good point, Stitches. I see. Absolutely. All right, guys. And sadly, I don't have any new ones now. Stop calling me. I'm going to have to get some more. For sure. Right. Yeah. No, understood. Thank you, Alicia. Yeah, I have to figure out a better way of getting more of them and being able to find them, get the result on them. You're kidding me. Hold on a minute. I'm going to tell this person off. When somebody hangs up on you, that means that they don't want to talk to you. So don't call me back, okay? Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
Dumbass.
This is why.
That irritates me when they hang up and they call back. No.
Yeah, I had one do that. I was like, I just talked to you. They're like, take me off the list. I haven't heard from him since.
He called me 4 times. I hung up 4 times. The last time. No. So sick of these people. About your gas qualifies for that. Kiss my ass. No, it doesn't. I don't care. Well, if that number calls me again, I'm going to play a whole new game with it. And I hate when they call you by your first name, like you're friends or something. Like, oh, you know me. Come on, let's talk. No, it doesn't work that way. Welcome, Phil. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to work out something to where I can pull more of those and get to where I can get the answers to whether or not they're still missing or not. And I'm glad to see there were so many that are found. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right, let's get moving on Miss Jennifer Faye, guys. Let's see what's going on with this one. Please don't go slow on me. Load. Please load. Okay. Nope. Wrong one. Hold on. 1 second. So this case, guys, Jennifer went missing out of Austin, Texas. For anybody that's in Texas, I don't know if the name sounds familiar, if it's something you recognize, but it could be. Let's see here. Hold on here. Good Lord. Thank you, Lone Bear.
Yeah, but Karen, if he gets a whistle, then he's going to blow out all of our ears.
Welcome, Karen. And whistle for what?
To blow on the phone when the scammers call.
Oh, I have a bullhorn I could do.
Just mute before you do it, please, because I wear headphones.
Of course. That's a trip, Cassie. That's a trip. Okay. Trying to find. Here it is. Good Lord have mercy. This should not be this hard. Okay, so this case is 30 plus years old. She's been missing for a long time, guys. So we definitely need to bring some awareness to this, so on and so forth, and get it out there. Rock Phobo calls. That's who oh, that's funny. Welcome, Mittens, by the way. Good to see you again. Phil, thank you for joining us. If you didn't hear me, you know what? I have blocked these numbers. That one that's new though. That came out of Massachusetts. So Phil, stop scam calling me. Just kidding. Anyway, welcome, Stephen. Thank you for the email as well. Yes, a good, very good point. Very good point. By the way, happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. I didn't realize that until my wife said something. Did not even realize. All right, so I'm going to start off here with this news clip, and then we're going to roll into it.
A teenage girl vanishes from her home in Brockton. 30 years later, her family still doesn't know what happened to her.
Our Bob Ward has been following this case for decades. He sits down with the family to mark the painful anniversary and renew their plea for answers. It's tonight's New England's Unsolved.
It's been 30 years since Jennifer disappeared. What does this anniversary mean to you?
Means that I still don't know where my daughter is. I don't know what happened to her.
Somewhere along these Brockton streets, in this neighborhood, many believe is the answer to a heartbreaking mystery. What happened to Jennifer Fay? On the night of November 14th, 1989, the 16-year-old Jennifer walked out of her Emerson Avenue home to be with friends, and she completely vanished. Jennifer's mother, Dottie McLean, is still searching.
It'll never go away, I believe, until I at least find her.
This playful home video of Jennifer Fay was shot less than a year before she disappeared. This is how her sister, Yvette Aubin, remembers Jen.
She was the life of anywhere she went. Any room she came into, she was just charismatic.
And Jennifer loved to have fun. On the night she disappeared, Jennifer's mom asked her to babysit, but Jennifer wanted to go out to a neighborhood party.
I remember that night like it was yesterday.
Jen called a cousin to watch the children.
I begged her not to go. It was like I knew something bad was going to happen.
I got this feeling over me. Something wasn't right. And that's when I decided to go home. And she wasn't there.
Jennifer Fay never came home. For years, police considered her a runaway.
We thought that perhaps it would crack this in 6 months, maybe a year.
Private investigator Charlie Castro heads up a team of PIs looking for Jen. They've been on this case for 16 years.
We feel there are people out there that know more than what they've told us.
The PI team believes when Jennifer left her house, she stayed in the neighborhood hanging with friends. Eventually, Jennifer wound up on Broad Place, a back alley about a block away from home. It is here Jennifer Fay is last seen talking to someone in a brown pickup truck. And PI Castro tells me his team has discovered a brown pickup truck owned by someone in the neighborhood disappeared around the same time as Jennifer Fay.
No reason for the truck disappearing. It was only 3 or 4 years old. It was never sold. It was never re-registered. It just disappeared shortly after Jennifer's disappearance.
The investigative team has interviewed 250 witnesses, including Jennifer's closest friends, many of them not talking. Jennifer's family is hoping that maybe now, the 30th anniversary, someone might finally speak.
I can't give up. I never will. She's my sister. She was my best friend.
They have to come forward. I mean, before I go, I would like to know where my daughter is.
If you have any information about what happened to Jennifer Fay, contact the team of private investigators looking into her case at 508-328-9285. For New England's Unsolved, I'm Bob Ward, Boston 25 News.
All right, let me load in the next one now. That's just a little news piece on this, but 30 plus years. It's just really sad, guys. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Sorry, guys. It's just taking forever to load. I don't know why. All right, here we go. Finally loaded up. Good Lord. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, so the story that we're going to hear about this is brought out by Exploring with a Mission. I'll put the link in the chat here in just a second, guys. Please let me know how the audio is.
And in the dark at night, no one would ever know you were here. And this location has deep water right off the rocks. There are some large boulders here, but for the most part, there are probably like 15 or 20 access points to get a vehicle in. And then as you can see, that can down there in the water, it's pretty deep, and it gets deeper right away, so a car could get in here. We're looking for a brown, I believe, Ford F-150.
So as you heard with the news, it's believed that she could have been maybe abducted via this brown Ford F-150 pickup truck that disappeared the same time she did. So they're looking for this truck and have been looking for this truck in different places. Is this it? I don't know. I'd like to think that it could be. And if that's the case, the person that owned the truck, I believe he's in jail now as we speak. But they have to be able to prove this. Welcome, Bonnie. Good to see you today, dear. I hope you're doing good. So there's that. So I think this is going to talk about the case itself and that truck scenario too. And that's the only true actual like bit of evidence that he really got anything on with Jennifer. It's very sad. There should be so much more, but there's not. So let's check this out, guys. There's a link to them if you guys ever want to jump over there real quick. Hit the like button for them. Subscribe if you'd like to. They do plenty of these shows in regards to this. And go looking, boots on the ground as well. They do a great job with that. So please check them out if you would. Right, SRB. Exactly.
Jennifer Fay is the 4 of spades in the Massachusetts State Police deck of cards. She went missing when she was 16 years old.
In Brockton, Massachusetts, looking for Jennifer Fay. I'll give you more information later. I'll get you the missing persons documentation, and we'll bring you back into the story of this whole thing in detail from the missing persons as well as from the detectives.
Jennifer Fay left her home on November 14, 1989 to attend a party in the neighborhood. She then walked to the corner.
Yeah, he does a lot of cold cases. They do the boots on the ground stuff. So I follow a lot of what he covers too. So yes, if you have been subbed to him, great. If not, you should definitely do it, guys. He does great stuff. So thank you.
Store called Rice's, and at one point was seen next to a brown F-150, and then she vanished. Jennifer's mother and sister have never given up hope. They keep searching for her, and it's been 34 years.
I also have an interview with her sister that we're going to check out too. So that'll be a little helpful too in giving some more details into this.
The number one suspect in the case was always KEVEN MAULER, who was called Boston. He owned a brown F-150 that seemed to disappear at the same time. MAULER recently has been put in jail for the killing of another individual and is suspected in the murder of a young woman.
The only lead they've ever had, and which is this KEVEN MAULER, Paula, is the only one that I believe, and he's in jail already for being suspected of killing one person and another murder. So this is the only lead they have. Truly, it's really sad. So that's the only one I can give you for now. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you.
This case has baffled investigators for years, but recently, Tom Soretta, a private investigator, brought to light the brown F-150 that used to sit in KEVEN MAULER's driveway.
This is him, Paula. This KEVEN MAULER. He's the only suspect, the only person of interest whatsoever, the only one, period.
KEVEN lived in the neighborhood, I believe off of Broad Place, right down the street from Jennifer Fay's home.
So today, I'm doing a search for Jennifer Fay. Jennifer Fay was a young girl that went missing. She was never found, and the individual that they think murdered her actually was put in jail a few years ago for murdering somebody else. He was a young kid at the time. He was in his early 20s or late teens. And so I'm here at Waldo Lake at Brockton, and I'm attempting to recon the area to determine whether or not Waldo Lake or Brockton Reservoir has the ability to hold an F-150. Because this is probably the closest body of water, from what I see on my mapping, from the house of Jennifer Fay. And just so you can see if you can see
typically
that.
they are.
So Emerson Ave and that section over there, Spring Street, Emerson Ave, is where the suspect and Jennifer Fay are from. And this lake, you'd have to go straight out, take a left on Harrison, come across, and then go down Central Street and directly into the park from Harrison Boulevard off of Oak. So we're right on the Avon corner. We're near the Brockton Reservoir. That's that side over there. And on this side is Waldo Lake. And you have the DW Field Parkway, which goes all the way around. So it goes all the way around that outside edge. And you can see them over there driving. There's access points over there. There's access points on the front corner. There's access points on that corner. There's access points at that parking lot. This entire road is an access point. And back in that time, I'm sure there weren't a lot of police officers that were coming in here in the dark. Very easy to slip a vehicle in. again, I'm looking at, can you get right into there? Can you get to deep water if you float? Can you get the car?
Wisdom asked the question, wouldn't it depend on the surface under the water, like quicksand or clay, asking for a friend? Sure it would. I would imagine, yeah. That's a good question though. How deep it would go, what type it would be. Yeah, that's a good question, Sherry. Agreed. Welcome, Miss Kim from CLK Creations. Good to have you here today. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining us.
Car in there without bottoming out and then having a real issue that the car's half in and half out. So I've got to try to find a place where you can get the vehicle into easily, know it's deep enough, and know that back in the day that they could get this F-150
so much.
to disappear. Not the brightest group of individuals, but they've evaded the law for almost 40 years. So that being said, that's where we're at. We're at Waldo Lake in Brockton, Massachusetts, looking for Jennifer Fay. But the reason why, again, I'm looking at this one is because it's close to home, and we need to bring these people home, and especially a young girl. I mean, it's
From what I read, it doesn't say anything about them searching here. I would have imagined they would have, but I don't know. That's a good question, Charlotte. I read an article on this, and I can't find anything on it. I know they searched for her for a short period of time, and then that was it. Back then, it wasn't as, busy with that as it is now. No, she disappeared from her home. She went to what, quote unquote, she was supposed to be going to a party, Cassie. And then her mother said she got some kind of a bad feeling, came home, and Jennifer was gone. Then she was seen about a block from the home talking to somebody in this brown truck, and then never seen again after that. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious if they ever dove this too. It's a good point. And I guess the truck went missing very, very shortly after she did. And it was a fairly new truck, so there was no reason for it. It wasn't sold, wasn't anything. So
it's devastating for a family, especially when they've gone this long. I mean, almost 40 years. Haven't been able to find their kid. And the individual, he's in jail somewhere else at this point in time. I don't believe he's out. His second crime of murder, I believe. So, and again, on a younger woman, is from what I've been told. So, that being said, I'm going to do what I can to do some investigation on this one, and I'm going to see if I see anything out there. We'll sonar ball this as well to make sure that.
Yeah, Kevin MAULER owned the truck that is suspected to be the possible vehicle that she was last seen near. And like I said, he's in jail right now for one previous murder and suspected of another one. And I believe he's the only person they've ever had as a suspect, but they have had no proof. That's the problem. So there's the issue with this. But yeah, the truck went missing. So now I would have imagined with that happening, they would have dove looking for this in any bodies of water local. But I found nothing in any of the articles saying that they did. So that's kind of crazy to me. Just saying.
There's nothing in there. But as you can see, there's access points everywhere. And there's people fishing. And if you're a fisherman, you know about Waldo Pond or Waldo Lake. I mean, you could literally drive right into here. From right up there, just come around the corner, come straight in, and bang. But this looks like it might be a little too shallow. But there are some spots that I think are deeper off the road edges that we're going to keep on looking at. I'll put the sonar in, put the boat in, and see what I can find. See if we can again clear some areas for the family. We'll clear Waldo Lake first, Brockton Reservoir second if we can get in there, and then start working on the other 14 ponds, I believe, and lakes that are up here that need to be cleared. So we're in the Taunton River watershed in Brockton, Mass, at the town line. We're driving into DW Field Park next. DW Field Park.
Are you guys talking about like Adventures with a Purpose? They could have too. I don't know. I've never seen anything about it. This guy is with Exploring with a Mission. It's the name of his channel. So I don't know.
Again, has another access point. It's on this side. You have the channel here. You could get a vehicle in there, so I'm going to take a look at that real quick. Again, looking for easy access points. Back in the day, this would have looked different, but this is a pretty deep section right here. So I'm going to sonar that. Definitely drop off into the abyss. But this section seems to drop off pretty good. I don't know if you get your car through here, but I mean, it is an F-150. Probably none of this would have been here. You know, and again, these trees have been here for a long time. So, but it's pretty, gets pretty deep in this little channel right here. So I should probably check that. Yeah, I don't know if you can get a vehicle through here. Yeah, I don't know. Got a lot of trash in the bottom, a lot of lures. But I'm sure it's deep right there. I don't think you can get up on that run up there to get to that pump house. We're going to go all the way around this thing, see what we can find. Again, you could get through here, but it'd be tight back in the day unless you went that way, and even that way is tight. It's not ideal. You know. Well, let's check it. I'm really interested with this. Very possible to get something in there. So again, you got access point here that goes to deep water right there. There's gaps in the trees that you can get a vehicle through. So we're gonna have to check it. And you can get a vehicle in there too.
Oh, it is ADP.
Dorothy Goroshko.
Say again.
I said it is ADP. Adventures with Purpose.
It is?
Uh-huh.
Exploring with a Mission?
Back it up and you'll see.
Did I go too far?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, what the shit?
Or AWP. I said ADP, but AWP.
Is this with him or without him?
I don't know. Like SRB said, it must have been before all the stuff went down.
This
don't
is
know.
March 30th of 24. So about a year ago.
I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah.
Interesting. Well, if I see him, I'm shutting this off because I don't care for him at all. So
Right.
be forewarned, folks. Must have changed the name then. That makes sense.
Dorothy Goroshko went missing in
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like what
I don't
SRB
know.
said, if this is the guy that took over after he was gone.
I don't remember. I blocked all that out. I don't want to know.
I just quit watching everything when his stuff came out, and I was done with it. And then that's why I never noticed any of that. But okay. Jared sued all his divers about footage, and they had to put his logo on. Oh, really? Oh, okay. That might make some sense. He's a jerk all the way around. God. Unbelievable. Let me see something here. I don't know. So is AWP still his thing or not? I don't know what went on with all that.
Yeah, I believe so.
Really? So he got away with all that. So I don't understand who this would be then. Exploring with a mission. I didn't even think this had any kind of a thing, any kind of a connection whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Just play it.
Mostly on TikTok, yes. Oh well.
Really interested with this.
I went backwards. Sorry, hold on.
In that corner, there's access.
Here we go.
In the case, there's a couple, but the individual that's involved in the case is actually in jail for another murder of a man down in South Carolina.
So there is the Kevin Mailer guy that they had as a suspect who owned that brown truck for everybody's. Okay, good. Thank you, Wisdom. It's not Jared, it's a legal formality. Thank you. Okay.
"56-year-old Kevin Wayne Mailer, better known as Boston, is suspected in the murders of Kevin Craig, Jamie Ivester, and Faith Roach, and possibly more. Kevin had a lengthy drug history from 19 years old all the way to 56, and was on drug charges as well as murder charges down in South Carolina. Tom Soretta, a private investigator working on the case of Jennifer Fay, believes that Kevin Mauler had something to do with Jennifer's disappearance.
So we just thought we'd give a hand to the state police and to the family and try to clear some bodies of water where there's a potential for a vehicle to enter from multiple means of egress. So, again, first pond of the day. The DF Park was closed this morning until 12, so we are going to try to clear other ponds until that opens, because that park in Waldo Pond and Waldo Lake and the Brockton Reservoir are the closest bodies of water. This one is the most discreet, though.
And that's probably the one that's most prominent to be the one that may have this. The one that's most discreet. Obviously, somebody that's going to do this is going to do this at night so that you don't really see what's going on. And they're going to try to have it somewhere where it's hidden, where if you do this, because it could take some time to get the truck to go in and go under if they did this. So you don't want to do this in front of everybody. So I would have ventured to say that, you know, the most discreet, most hidden place to be able to do this would be the one that you would think to do this. Obviously something's not right because the truck disappeared and it was almost new. Okay. And as well as her disappearing. So it's a good lead in my opinion, for sure. Definitely. I'm not sure. It's the okay. I knew what you meant. Okay. Yeah, I can see. I know how to look, what to look for on the when they're using the sonar stuff. There was nothing on those.
Jennifer Lynn Fay's mother, Dottie McLean, and her sister, Yvette Aubin, have been waiting 34 years to bring her home. We cleared Spring Pond, which was always a location the family felt that the F-150 could have been hidden all these years.
That's him. Damn it. All right. So over here, if you look at these, you'd be able to see like it kind of looks like a mass of something if they run over top of something. Sometimes it discolors, sometimes not, but mostly you can just see that it's a different shape per se than what you're seeing otherwise. There's nothing on these, but yeah, this he is a creep, 100%. That's him. Well, we're moving on soon anyway to the sister's interview. So remember from now on, folks, that exploring with a mission is this piece of garbage. So all right, so all of these areas here, if there was something here, it would break up. Okay. When they use the sonar, they run it and it's just ongoing as they're scanning. You'll see it moving. Okay. And if they come upon something that looks like it just is not flat and smooth like that, that's how you know there's something there. And then they stop and they look for it. Yeah, that is true. That is true, Stormy. But with everything else that went on with him, I just don't like to associate anything with him. So, but anyway, But that's how you can read these and be able to see. There's some things you can see very clearly on here. And then the newer stuff is better. The 3D sonar stuff that comes up, you can almost physically see the face of a person. It's wild. So yeah, it's probably a good idea. Yes, everybody just see if you see all these little bumps, these little like imperfections, how this is all smooth here, but that's stuff that they're seeing underneath there, but not big enough to be per se a pickup truck, you know what I mean? So that's why they pass over things like that, probably.
Right there. What was that?
That's not where we were at.
Yeah, it's
We were
close.
over off of that tree over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let- Big line of rocks.
Gotcha,
Straight line.
RB. Thank you.
What's that right there?
See that big right there?
Yeah.
That's how you can tell.
Oh yeah.
It definitely is big enough to be a truck. Welcome, Echo. Good to see you.
Got a shadow right there on that one.
The problem is the silt in the bottom of these waterways is so thick sometimes it's hard to really get a good look. Right, the shadow that the vehicle throws off. Best way to explain it, right?
Just so everybody understands what we're looking for and what we're trying to see on the screen, we are looking for vehicles that are in the water column that we can, or get into the water column, and we look at the depth, and the depth determines the size of the vehicle on the screen. If it's a deeper depth, it's a smaller car or a smaller item or object on the bottom. We can then move to 360-degree scanning and look at the vehicle sitting on the bottom in the water column, which is the center of the screen. We can then move to live scan while it's in the water column and look at the vehicle sitting on the bottom and rotate our stick so we can actually see the entire vehicle like an ultrasound. When a vehicle comes into our live scan, we can actually determine what it looks like and what type of vehicle it might be, because it is like an ultrasound. that ultrasounding or that sonar actually shows us that it's sitting in the silt, that it has 4 windows up or 1 window down. We can actually determine the shape of the roof, as long as it's not been damaged. After seeing a vehicle on side scan in the water column, we can then shift over to our live scan and really determine what that vehicle looks like by rotating our stick. And it's a transducer stick, and it allows us to see it, as I said, like an ultrasound. In this scan, we are looking at a side scan where the vehicle is looking from east to west, looking into the water column. The water column is what's under the boat directly. In this scan, we actually are looking at a vehicle that is looking north and south, and a shadow or a sonar shadow to its right, and a tire to the left-hand side. This is actually 2 vehicles sitting on the bottom, just outside of the water column, a tire just north of the vehicles, but one is on its side and one is on its wheels. All these vehicles were either seen in Jamaica Pond or in the Charles River, and they're all 30 to 40 years old. So we're really locked into what a vehicle should look like. A 4-foot rock that is sitting on the bottom.
Big, but it's flat.
Creepy, huh? And long.
And long.
So that's probably 25 to 30. 25.
I believe that Jennifer Fay and that F-150 are close to home. I don't believe that teenagers, 19, 20-year-old young men, are going to work that hard to drive that far at that time in 1989 to get rid of that F-150. I believe she's close.
Yeah, they're 2 separate entities. I guess he was helping this guy, so regardless, I don't support him. I'll support the other guy, but not him. So regardless, I wanted to run the interview with her sister. I think it's Yvette is how it's pronounced. That's quite interesting too. So they didn't find her there, but that is the suspicion that she's in a body of water with this vehicle, possibly. It's from March of last year, Charlotte. March of 24. Sorry, last year. Yeah. So hold on here. Let me pull up this interview. Sorry, we had to see his face, guys. I had no idea. Chaos, there's okay. Thank you, Wisdom. All right, one moment. Now, this is Jennifer's sister. She's going to talk about the night that Jennifer disappeared and explain some of that. Good afternoon, Aurora. Thank you for joining us.
She had saw something she was honestly believe that she had saw something she wasn't supposed to see, and maybe she was gonna open her mouth about it to someone that I have no idea, but that's how Jen was. Like, as little as she was, she had a big mouth, and she didn't really care what the consequences would be. She would say what she wanted to say. It was a setup. I mean, yes, it was a Tuesday night, and yeah, she would go out on weekends, weeknights. It didn't really matter as long as she was doing what she was supposed to. So I just feel like the way she went out and the way it all went down, like she had to go. She had to get a babysitter. She had to go out. That it was set up. That she was supposed to be where she was that night for whatever reason. For whoever's reason.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. We're loading again. My apologies. This is so irritating. I don't know why this does this. One moment. We're almost there. Aggravating. We're almost there. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Sorry.
Tonight, new hope for the family of a Brockton teenager who disappeared in 1989. A key figure in the Jennifer Fay investigation has been charged with murder in an unrelated case in South Carolina.
Boston 25 News reporter Bob Ward has been featuring Jennifer's case on New England's Unsolved for decades. Tonight, Bob shows us how private investigators and a national true crime podcast helped turn up the heat.
It's just time. It's time. It's been too long.
Jennifer Fay was only 16 years old in November 1989 when she disappeared from her Brockton home. Now comes word that this man, KEVEN MAULER, a career criminal who in 1989 lived in Jennifer Fay's neighborhood, is charged with murder in South Carolina in another case.
I'm not shocked at all that he was charged with murder. I'm more shocked at how long it took for them to realize that this is who he is.
KEVEN MAULER is already doing time on a drug conviction, but he's now charged with injecting another man, Kevin Craig, with an unknown substance, killing him. The potential motive to cover up their roles in the 2019 disappearance of another woman, Faith Roach.
Chaos and crime seem to follow Kevin wherever he goes.
Massachusetts private eye Charles Castro has been working the Fay case for 20 years. He's long had his sights set on KEVEN MAULER.
He is a prime suspect, I'll put it that way.
South Carolina authorities.
Yeah, so this guy, Jesus, this guy's a mess. I mean, he's injecting people to shut them up for taking part in another murder. And it, I mean, this is crazy.
Authorities first considered Kevin Craig's death an overdose, but things changed recently when the national true crime podcast, Barstool Sports' The Case, took on Jennifer Fay's disappearance. Stephen Robinson was the executive producer.
As a result of Kirk Minahan, the host of the podcast, asking some questions, drawing attention to it, police reopened the investigation into Kevin Craig's death. And just yesterday, they were able to bring murder charges against KEVEN MAULER, who, again, we suspected of being the last person to see Jennifer Fay alive.
In a statement, the Plymouth County DA's office said it is aware of Mailer's South Carolina arrest. Yvette Aubin hopes KEVEN MAULER might soon finally reveal what really happened to her sister.
I don't know if he's even talking, but it would be nice if he did.
This November, it'll be 33 years since Jennifer Fay disappeared, and this year, for the first time in a long time, her family believes they may be close to finally getting some answers. In Brockton, Bob Ward, Boston 25 News.
Okay, so there is that. And then, sorry, you guys, we're getting there. All right, it's starting to move a little bit now. Good Lord. What a mess. Okay, and next one. Okay. This is Jennifer's mother talking in regards to the situation here.
She's actually been missing since 1989, and we have no idea where she is or what happened to her. And each year that I do this, I hope that somebody will come forward and let me know where she is so I can bring her home.
So can you tell us what your daughter's name is?
Jennifer Lynn Fay. I'm sorry.
And what's the general, story about her disappearance?
She went out with
what she looked like and everything?
Jennifer was, well, as you can see in my pins, blonde hair, blue eyes. Jennifer was very bubbly, happy-go-lucky kid. She went out one night with friends to a party, and she never came home. And her friends never came around the next day either to find out what happened to her. So
See, that's the thing is the friends were questioned at some point by law enforcement. Of course, Dottie, the sister, and nobody will say anything. So I have a feeling that they have an idea or had an idea then what may have happened to her and may have been afraid of this guy. If this is the guy, I mean, nobody else seems like the person, but there's no proof. So, and that is why nobody spoke. This reminds me of like, swear to God, this reminds me of Timmy D's case, guys, in a lot of ways. It really, really does. This woman even reminds me of Barb. It's really sad. Exactly, SRB. I'm thinking that the friends definitely probably had some knowledge as to what and may have had a fear of him because we see what he does. You know what I mean? I can't blame him for being afraid of him, but you should still have come forward. You have to do the right thing in some senses, unless they were threatened or something like that. I get that, but still, what's the matter, Mama Bear?
Oh, they said I was being too quiet, and they thought a ghost had taken me for a walk, and I said, "No, I'm here." It's like I just, I don't have your chat.
Oh yeah,
Too many things open, so I can't talk.
Gotcha. No, makes sense. Yeah, there are so many cases like this, honestly, where they would know who did it but can't prove it. Right? Too many of them. There's too many of them, truly. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying, Aurora. That's a crazy one too, for sure. Definitely.
In the beginning, I did think that maybe she ran away, but I knew in my heart she didn't. And now, 27 years later, we still don't know where she is, and I'm still waiting for to bring her home. And I do appreciate all my friends and family coming here and doing this walk with me every year. Hopefully, we're going to be able to put some closure to this. It's been too long. So, yeah, let me put those in my pocket. No, I'm going to hold them.
Watch that brick right here. Watch that little triple. Careful. I don't want to get a call. We're following here.
So sad what these families go through that go through this. It really, 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 really is. Jeez. So there was, I think that might be it, you guys. I thought I had another link, but it's not running now. So, okay. That's it for that one. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the other link? Sorry, I have too many of these things. I do have to clean this part of this out again. This is the Enterprise News, the other Enterprise News link. It was on the bottom. I didn't see it. Sorry about that. And here we go. And this is just, I think, her mom speaking in regards to the situation as they run this.
Family photos. But I'm just hoping that we can find her and I can have her here too.
Way too long, Alicia. Shouldn't have to either.
Well, first of all, if they're going to find her, how they're going to find her. Is she going to be in one
I will.
area or
where it's been 19 years, is she going to be scattered? That's what I think of every time they find remains of someone. I think it could be Jen. And I go through that whole procedure of how I'm going to handle seeing my daughter that way.
And that's another thing is all of these families that go through this, anytime they find remains of a missing person or of a person, period, every time, if it's in the area that the person that your loved one has gone missing, and you have to go through that time and all over again and again and again, every time, just because they don't know until they can prove whether it is or it's not. And then there's the waiting game while you're waiting on toxicology, or not toxicology, but you know what I mean, the lab results to come back on the testing that they've done to find out. It's just horrible what they go through, period. People don't realize, especially not these piece of shit criminals that do what they do, what you put people through by doing that, committing that one specific act that you've committed, and how many people have to go through that. That's the horrible thing. So in essence, the mothers and fathers and family members and loved ones of a person, like this instance where you have to repeatedly, again and again and again and again, prepare yourself to be ready for the possibility that this is your child, and then it's not. Okay. Then you move on to the next one. And there could be 20, 30, 40 of these that happen over a 30-year period of time. Who knows, It's just horrible to me. It absolutely breaks my heart to see these people have to go through this and still have no justice. That's the hard part with this whole thing. To go for 30 some odd years with no answers and having no idea. Right. Yeah. Daniel Robinson's father found 7 other persons' remains looking for Daniel Robinson. And again, you go through this whole emotional roller coaster every time, you guys. It's horrible. And then there's no answers. There's no closure. And then you have to get set up for the next time. It's just, it's unfair to these people. This is how their lives end up. This is what they live. Luckily, it's not luckily, but you know what I mean? With Barb, they found Timmy in a fairly short period of time. She does have that. She has him. But then there's the answers as to what happened and why and when and who. None of that gets answered, sometimes ever. And that's another thing that drives me insane. That would be so hard to each time think, yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You get that build up and say, okay, I'm going to prepare myself to know that this is my child. Maybe we'll finally get an answer to this, and then it's not right. It's not them. And then you have to deflate and start and do it again and again and again and again. And it kills me. I don't understand. These people are so strong. God bless them is all I can say. It's so sad.
We're just going to walk on here, and the area we're looking is on the right.
I just want to find her and put some closure to this. It's been too long. 19 years. She's been gone longer than she's been on Earth. It's really hard. And I just...
Exactly.
You just know, being a parent, that she never would have stayed away this long. She knew how I worried about her, and made her let me know when she got to the end of the street to call me and let me know she got there. And she would just never stay away this long, no matter what. I know she would have gotten a hold of me. So after all this time, yeah, I'm afraid that she's gone, and probably has been gone since that night. After all this time, yeah, I'm afraid that she's gone, and probably has been gone since that night. There's no end. There's no knowing where she is, and that's what's been hard all these years, not knowing.
All right, so no, that's it. So again, 34, I think it is, years at this point now. Jennifer Lynn Fay still missing. No, they have a lead. They have a suspect in mind, but they have no way to prove it. He's already in prison, but still he could be charged again. And there's no way to, there's not enough in evidence to be able to charge him with anything, which is really, really, really sad, because they're almost, from my understanding in the article that I read, that they really do truly believe it's him because of that, the way that went. So in 89, at 16, with a good family, those people are not runaways. Nobody can change my mind. Right. I can agree with you on that, Wisdom. I can. So it's very sad, you guys. Very sad. So hopefully sometime, somewhere, something will happen. They'll find this truck, hopefully, and it will be proven that that's the whole situation. And maybe they'll find her remains, I hope, and give this mother and the rest of the family some closure on this one. It's a very sad situation. It just really, really is. Really sad. So that's really all I have on that. The rest of it was just news clips and nothing new, sadly. I did want to see, though. Have you guys heard this story? This is a little offhanded. It was still in unsolved, but when I looked at it, but have you heard the story about Lorena Garcia Gordo? Anybody in here?
I don't think so.
Okay. This is wild. Very, 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 very weird and wild. Let me see if I can find the best one to explain it to you, because this was nuts. Hold on. Like I said, it's not an unsolved, like, missing person or murder or anything. It's just that it's one of the strangest things I've ever heard. This woman that we're going to talk about swears by this situation, and it just makes zero sense. It is an unsolved situation, put it that way. I don't know how to explain it, though. And I want your guys' opinion on this, too, because it just was like I said, I fell into this accidentally looking at other stuff, and I was like, wait, what is this? Yeah, Daniel Robinson's is another really sad one. Brian Schaefer's case, we've covered that. I've covered that twice, I think. That one just blows my mind. I don't understand Brian's case at all.
Do you remember Rasheem Carter?
Yes. Yes, I do. I sure do. Is there anything new on that one that you know of?
I haven't heard anything. I haven't really looked either.
Oh, okay.
Might need to do that.
You missed yesterday morning. I went back and did a recap on a bunch of older cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I covered Sean Daughtry's case yesterday.
Cool.
Which of course there's nothing new, but
No.
other than the fact they still don't want anybody talking about it, which blows my mind. Lamar Kendrick, that's another one I remember. Yeah. There's a lot, you guys. There's so many of them. Daniel Robinson's father has really done a lot of good based on what his, I mean, like I said, if there's anything good to come out of these horrible situations, he's helped in other situations, and he's really, I feel so bad for him. Just like with, what's that case, Bear? We covered it for a long time, and they just recently got some closure on it. His mother's name was Candace.
Dylan Rounds?
Dylan Rounds, yeah. Sorry, guys. That's another, something good that came out of that is Candace became part of groups that are helping other people going through this. So if anything, a lot of these parents that go through this, the good thing that comes from this is they become advocates and helping to help other people with this. So that's the one good thing you can say that comes from this. The one and only, because there is nothing else. So, all right, guys. Like I said, this is so crazy. Check this out. It's listed under paranormal, but this woman swears up and down. I read this article and then I went and found the video on it to watch just to see. She swears to God on everything that is holy that this really happened to her. Really happened to her. And I went, wait. Like, was first I started reading, I went, what? This is crazy. Just wait.
Can a person vanish without a trace only to appear in a parallel universe? What if you woke one day believing you were in the same world but found things had changed? You are the same person but in a different reality. The following case took place on July the 16th, 2008, when a 41-year-old Spanish woman by the name of Lorena Garcia Gordo claimed to have woken up in a parallel universe. One night she went to sleep as per usual, and the following day noticed that there were small, unusual inconsistencies happening from the moment she woke up. The very first thing that caught her attention was that her bed sheets were not the same colour, and sat up in bed totally confused and disturbed. In fact, the sheets were not only a different colour, but were a completely different set. Lorena could find no rational explanation as to why this had happened. However, not to be deterred, she still had breakfast and headed off to work at the office, where she'd worked for the past 20 years. Not everything had changed at that stage, as for
Take care, Charlotte. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and you feel better. Take care, hon.
Fortunately, her car was still in the same location where she'd left it the previous day. She then drove down the same road that she'd been driving on since moving into her apartment 7 years ago. Other than the bed linen, her days seemed to be starting out like any other day, but things would again take a strange twist when she...
I'm actually going to be covering that one, Phil, the Molly Bish case. That's another one I have in my notebook I'm going to be looking into here soon, so you could probably help with that one if you wanted.
arrived at the office. As she entered the building, she saw a lot of strange faces that she'd never seen or met before, but did not let that deter her in any way and continued to walk to her office. But when she reached the door of her office, she found a different name on the door, and it was not her name. Looking for a rational explanation, she'd figured she'd gotten off at the wrong floor in the building, but when she looked around, found she was definitely on the right floor, and it was definitely her office. So why had her name been replaced on the door? Confused and thinking the worst, like maybe she'd been fired, but nobody had the decency to tell her, even though she'd worked there for the past 20 years. She thought it rather insulting. She then proceeded to take out her laptop and then plug it into the company's network. Fortunately, she could see that her name was still on the company roster, but found she was now under a different manager and in another department altogether. Totally confused, Lorena had to compose herself, as she had no idea what was happening to her. To confirm who she was, Lorena pulled out her credit card, driver's license, and work ID, which all showed the correct information as far as she could tell. They all showed the same name, same photo ID, and luckily, the same address. In trying to get to the bottom of what was happening to her, she thought it best she took the day off and called in sick. Her life had suddenly been thrown into total chaos, and Lorena's first thought was that there was something medically wrong and made an appointment to see her doctor. He then ran tests on her and checked for any
Hang on. It gets way better, SRB. Just wait.
signs of drugs that could have altered her sense of reality. But the tests came back negative and hadn't even shown any traces of alcohol in her system. In an attempt to get to the bottom of everything, Lorena went home to check through all her personal files, which included bank statements, checks, and bills, but all of them were in order with the correct information. Still believing that something was wrong with her, she suddenly had a thought that maybe she was suffering from some sort of amnesia. What if something had recently happened to her and she'd forgotten certain parts of her life? She then went online to check the internet and could see that the news and other stories were the same as the day before, so there were no missing days. As far as Lorena could tell, most things in her life were the same, but at the same time, when
That's where I went with this, Mark. Can a person perceive reality differently after experiencing something traumatic? Yes, not going into a different dimension. That's what I think happened here. I think there was some kind of maybe a health something that happened, maybe a stroke or anything. I don't know. But something in her life happened that was a very traumatic experience. And for some reason, it changed. Yeah, exactly what you're saying, Mark, because this gets even crazier. Hold on.
When she woke up that morning, her life had changed slightly. But her life was to take another strange twist. Lorena had broken up with her boyfriend 6 months earlier after being together for the past 7 years. She was now embarking on a new relationship and had recently been dating a man called Augustin, who only lived down the road from her apartment. Although they'd only been seeing each other for 4 months, she'd gotten to know him quite well. She decided to call his home phone number, but some stranger picked up the phone instead. They said they knew no one by the name of Augustin or anyone who even matched his description living in the house. Lorena could not understand what was happening to her life, as she spent the last 4 months getting to know him and had even met his son, who she was developing a positive relationship with. It looks as if Augustin and his son had been erased from her life. Over the next few days, Lorena would find even more inconsistencies in her life. However, her life had to go on and she went to work the following day pretending that nothing had happened and everything was normal. Lorena continued to search for Augustin in other ways, but without any luck. It was as if he and his son had never existed, as if her life was not in enough turmoil. She would shortly find that she'd never even left her ex-boyfriend, and their 7-year relationship had continued, and there was no sign that they'd even separated. Lorena did not understand where her life was going and what had happened to her old personal life and career, and thought that maybe she'd had a nervous breakdown where false memories had been implanted into her head, and believed the next course of action was to seek psychiatric treatment. However, tests showed that she was healthy in both body and mind, and the doctors believed she may have been under a lot of stress and could have hallucinated everything, but Lorena could not accept that theory. All the while, she continued to search for Augustin without any luck, and even hired an investigator, but he could find no trace of him or his son in the city. Things got even worse for Lorena when she asked her family about her younger sister's shoulder operation, but they looked at her confused, not knowing what she was talking about. But Lorena insisted that her sister had recently had surgery on her shoulder. Her family were now starting to question her sanity. Over the following months, Lorena would find more differences in her life, such as strange clothing in her drawers. Blogs she'd previously posted in the last few months had vanished, along with emails and chat sites. Yet all the news sites were the same from before she went to bed on that fateful night. As the months passed without any answers, Lorena now felt she had gone to bed one night and had somehow awoken in a parallel universe. The fact that all medical treatment had failed to find anything wrong with her, her only other option was to make a post in an online forum about her ordeal and ask for help, or possibly if it had happened to anyone else, and is convinced that she had somehow jumped into an alternative reality and that some actions she had taken had changed her reality. And if she jumped into a parallel universe, why was she living in the same year as the same person, just minor differences in life?
There's another guy that talks about this too. So what do you think of that one, Mama Bear? If you're here.
Sorry, I didn't get to hear it, unfortunately.
You didn't hear that.
No, I got distracted with my kids because they're supposed to be in an online class and they're arguing with me. And anyway,
Well, here's another version of it. So
okay.
I'm going to force you to hear it. It's very strange. For those of you that heard it already, it and don't mind this weird. He's a little strange, but this is like there's the I just, like I said, I found an article. I was reading through it and I went, wait, now what? So I go back and I start looking for these videos on it and stuff like that. Yeah, she swears this is what happened. And truly what Mark said, even though they found nothing with, medically wrong with her, so on and so forth, she went to a psychiatrist and everything. Something happened in her life that was traumatizing, in my opinion, that is what caused this. So I don't believe she went and moved into another dimension. That's crazy to me. But I don't know. This is insane to me, you guys. I've never seen this before, heard this before. It had to have been something traumatic that happened to her that broke something that made this happen and feel like this. You know what I mean? Made her feel like this. So, and it's very weird though that you have a new boyfriend who has a son. You have a name. This person doesn't exist. The relationship you were in never broke up. You have a whole different job. I mean, this is just crazy. So I think he probably tells the story the same way, but I always like to give everybody a backup on everything. So let's see.
And yet, it really happened. A strange case indeed. So let's study it. Subsequent theories and explanations, and then I'll let you make up your mind. This time, a case of mistaken identity of an entire life by Lorena Garcia Gordo. It was the 16th of July 2008 when the then 41-year-old Spanish woman Lorena Garcia Gordo woke up to find that her bedsheets were a different color from when she went to sleep the night before. Confused, she got ready for her office job that she had held for the past 20 years. She took the car, who was in the same spot she left it the day before, and started her commute to work. Everything seemed to be normal, until she arrived at her office. In the office building, she met some strange people, but that didn't raise any flags.
And see, everybody that she ran into when she went to work, they knew her. She didn't know them. There were some people she knew, but there was a lot of others. She had no clue who they were. They knew her. They, hi, how are you? This and that. She had no idea who they were. Nah, 16th of July. Sorry.
When she came to her office door, she noticed that her name tag was replaced by another name. Having checked she was on the right floor, she connected her laptop to the wireless network of the company and found out she was still on the duty roster, but under a different management and in another department. So she did get off the wrong floor. She immediately checked out her credit cards, driver's license, and work ID. And they showed the right information. Same name, same number, same home address. Not really knowing what to think, she took a sick day and went to the doctor's office. They ran a battery of tests on her to find out if there were any illicit drugs or alcohol in her blood.
Well, that's what I thought, Sherry. But when she went to the doctors, they said nothing was there. Nothing showed. She had MRI done, all that other stuff done. I thought maybe it was a stroke. Truly, I did. Or maybe multiple minis, TMI, whatever you want to call. None of that came out of there. Everything, she was absolutely perfectly healthy. So what could have traumatized her for it to happen is what I don't get. Unless there was some traumatizing thing in her life that happened that she doesn't remember purposely. Maybe her brain did it to itself and changed things in her life. I don't know, but this doesn't make sense. Doctor didn't find mine. Well, see, that could be too. That could be too. That's a good point. Good point.
The results came all back negative. She then checked and double-checked all her personal files and went on the internet to discover the same news stories from the day before. So, no missing days, and her personal data still seemed okay. But was she okay? She had left her former boyfriend of 7 years, 6 months prior, and had been dating a man for 4 months, a man she knew well. So she called him. Somebody else picked up the phone though, and told her nobody of that description lived there. There was no sign of her boyfriend, nor of his son, with which she had developed a relationship also. She would later find out they never existed. Stranger still, she
That was my thought too. That was another thing I thought of too. Maybe she was assaulted and it was so traumatic to her that she basically maybe it had something to do with where she worked and or who. I don't know, but that's the only things I can come up with that make this make any sense. And it still makes no sense. It is like the Twilight Zone, Mark.
apparently never separated with her former boyfriend of 7 years. That's just freaky. She went to work and about her business as usual, trying to fit in. At one point she thought she might have had a nervous breakdown, severe enough to implant false memories, but tests confirmed she was of sound mind and body. So doctors said she might have had hallucinations as a result of stress, but that didn't make any sense to her. Her own family thought she might be going insane, as she remembered a shoulder surgery of her younger sister that apparently never happened. Oops. Days, weeks, and months passed by as Lorena discovered other small but unnerving differences in her life. However, the outside world seemed more or less the same. It made her believe that she just went to sleep one night and woke up in another reality, a parallel dimension, the next morning. So, did she actually wake up in some alternate reality? Alter vu is the phenomena in which someone remembers his reality different. It is more famously known as the Mandela effect. The alterations that hundreds of thousands of people in this phenomena see and feel range from differences in film quotes and logos to changes in anatomy and geography, or even the feeling one or some of your friends or family are somehow different. Yeah, life is like a box of chocolates. At least for me it is. Capgras delusion is when a person believes that a friend, spouse, parent, or close family member has been replaced by an imposter. It occurs mostly in people with paranoid schizophrenia, but has been seen in people suffering from brain damage, dementia, and neurodegenerative disease. So, could Lorena have had a mini stroke that caused this? Capgras delusion does look a lot different from what happened in this case, though. But maybe there are other mental diseases that could explain this. Well, my bird looks different to me. He doesn't seem to be moving anymore lately. In the reactions to the story, in the articles that are of course linked in the description below, several people ask if she has been interviewed one-on-one or even put on a lie detector. Of course, she could have been making this up or inventing this story. But why? Her family started calling her insane, and I couldn't find any evidence that she got rich of this. And it would be a quite elaborate way to chase her boyfriend away. Another one of these strange stories that could suggest that alternate realities do exist. But in this case, you decide. If you enjoyed the vid, you can slap a like on it, leave comments in the comment box below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I have a vlog.
Okay, so the guy's weird. I get it. All right. I don't understand this, you guys. I couldn't. Knowing that she went through a psychiatrist, she had MRIs done, she all the medical tests done, so on and so forth. I can't even imagine a breakdown being like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Any ideas, Mama Bear?
Hmm.
See? Sherry said, I can't grasp this. Mine was from stress, making my pressure go high, but it didn't change. Yeah, see? This is creepy, weird. Like, that's why I had to show this to you guys, because I was just like, hold on a minute now. But I don't know. I don't know. And I've never seen or heard any. Mandela effect is different than this, okay? The Mandela effect is when, like, you swear up and down something's one, like the Berenstain Bears thing, and it was actually this, you know, that's different. This is your whole life has changed. Your job title, the department you worked in was different. Like, she woke up with different bed sheets on her bed. What the hell is this? Like, that's a little bit much for me. Crazy, folks. Crazy stuff. Wait, what the hell is this? What the heck is this? Something caught. Oh. I was looking that up, trying to see if there's more on that story or anything else. And I found this. Crazy, weird. Too much weird stuff going on nowadays, you guys. It's freaking me out.
A spacecraft hovering over Mexico City. A creature in a Scotland lake. Giant footprints in the forest. From haunted houses to alien abductions, the stories fascinate us. Now imagine an unidentified flying object right here in San Diego.
There it is, there it is, there it is, right there. That is bizarre.
That's something.
That's bizarre.
That was it? But it can't swim in the air.
Quick. It is so quick.
Can't stand it anymore? Well, hold on. Before we show you, meet Jose Escamilla. He's the one who first discovered this thing.
When I first saw these things on video, I go, this isn't real. It's an insect. You know, and you can hear me verbalize. That's what I thought they were.
Jose's a filmmaker, and he was in Roswell, New Mexico, of all places, back in 1994. Something flashed by his camera lens.
Must have been a fly or a bird.
Jose slowed down the image to get a better look. This is what he saw. Not very clear on that first outing, but definitely intriguing. He showed it to every scientist he could find.
They said they've never seen any insect or bird or any other kind of flying species like this. They know it's something.
Something, but what? 5 years later, Jose still isn't certain. He has his theories.
Between an insect and a jellyfish, I think that's the medium that I think we're talking about.
And a name.
Rods are here.
Rods, named for their long shape, or skyfish, because of the way they seem to swim through the sky. No one has ever found a dead one or brought one back alive. The only way to see them is on videotape, played back frame by frame.
They travel at extreme velocities, barely visible by the naked eye.
Can you see the rod in this video? Now watch as we slow it down. There's definitely something there, something unusual.
We have evidence right now from over 40 states, including Southern California.
But not from San Diego.
If you go wide, if you pull wide.
So we asked Jose to take us sky fishing, that's what he calls it, to see if some rods call America's finest city home. We don't know. What do they eat? How do they reproduce? We don't know anything about
We have no idea where they come from, what they're doing here, what they eat, whether they're beneficial to us or whether they're harmful to us.
There are going to be people who think this is just
absurd. How could that possibly be? How could there
That's
be?
exactly the way I felt, but I took the time to pay attention to what's going on here. There's a unique phenomenon that exists among us that is just, it's incredible.
Back at the television station, we examined the video we had just shot, frame by frame. About an hour later, it appears.
Let's go to that.
Yeah, we want to see that again.
This is our Tierra Santa tape. Here's how it looks at regular speed. Now we'll slow it down again.
Looks like a missile.
Looks like there's a little centipede on your lens.
Whatever it is, it's very strange.
That is weird.
Yeah, it also kind of looks like somebody was throwing something, but I guess you would have seen that person throwing it.
And a few more hours of viewing, and we find two more. Another one in Tierra Santa, and one hovering right over News 8 in Kearney Mesa.
What this proves to me is that there's definitely rod activity here in San Diego.
We don't know about that, but we can tell our images look a lot like those from Jose's collection. We thought we'd better ask a San Diego scientist about our San Diego UFO. David Faulkner is an insect expert at the Museum of Natural History.
It was definitely bizarre.
Just based on what you've seen, give us your opinion. You're saying it's not an insect.
Well, it's not an insect. There's nothing there that resembles an insect. You know, why doesn't it land? Why doesn't it signal? Why doesn't it feed? What does it rest? I mean, it has to be using up resources. Where does it go?
Clearly, it's alive.
Well, I don't know it's alive. A missile's not alive, and it can follow a certain trace. It's, you know, it's programmed.
A missile? Could it be something military? Miramar didn't return our phone calls.
I mean, it reminds me of things in, as I said, in marine or aquatic systems, but not on land.
And they move in kind of an undulating wave.
The marine experts at SeaWorld agree that the flight pattern resembles a kind of sea worm or eel.
It looks like it does have a swimming motion where it kind of wobbles and actually changes direction.
But still,
There is no fish I know that can live in the sky.
and the bird experts rule out the possibility of a feathered friend.
I don't think a bird would start low, fly up, and then kind of arc down without two distinct wings.
Okay, let's just say it. Could it be an alien? Even Jose doesn't think that.
Not UFOs in the sense that they're aliens from another world or something. They're unidentified flying objects until we can identify what they are.
But what about the most obvious answer? A camera trick? A lens flare? A hoax even?
This is not a hoax. I am not hoaxing this. If I was hoaxing this, Spielberg and Lucas would be looking for me right now.
While we can't vouch for Jose's private collection, we do know the footage shot in San Diego was not doctored. So we took those shots to our chief engineer, Richard Lockman.
Based on video and looking at it with our equipment in the shop, I definitely know that the tape was not altered, and it is true video, actual video. What it is?
Bats are, they're not birds. There's some, I can't think of what the hell they're. There's another name for it. It'll come to me, but they're not birds. Promise.
I haven't the slightest idea what it is.
Neither do we. And until Jose achieves his ultimate goal, finding an actual rod specimen, we'll probably never know the truth of what could be out there. Swimming through our San Diego skies, unseen.
Really, with the music.
They call it Sótano de las Golondrinas, Cave of the Sparrows.
I saw the sky and I saw things that very weird for us.
It's more than 1,200 feet straight down.
Ese que gritaba el Lucifer.
Lucifer used to scream out. You could hear it.
Jose Escamilla has heard all the stories.
It used to be a cave where they had sacrificial rites.
Now it's a cave that could hold the
Pretty close,
secret,
right there.
the evidence Jose needs to solve the rod's mystery. Why there could be so many here
Wide on
when
the
it took us hours to find just one rod in the skies of San Diego. Why the people of Aquismon know plenty about rods.
We are in the little town, but we know very well what things are you talking about the roads.
So we packed up every.
No, well, kind of, but no. I was showing that video about the woman who lost her life, and I was looking for that, like another piece of that, and this popped up, and I just curious, so I figured I'd share it with you guys.
Camera we could find and headed south from Mexico City to San Luis Potosí, then another 6-hour drive to the small town of Aquismón. In Aquismón, it's market day, and our expedition.
I've followed paranormal for years, since I was a kid, and I've never seen or heard of anything like this in my life, you guys, and this is crazy to me.
Is the talk of the town. The people say they've seen others come looking for the legendary rods to find the secret of the cave.
We are very interested in tourist people, but we are scared to say, come on, we have rods here.
Como los tiramos aquí en México.
Even Mexican reporters wanted the scoop. Jaime Musson hosts a Mexican television show called Third Millennium.
Mexico as a whole has been waiting for Jose Escamilla for a year. Many Mexicans are aware of what he is doing here.
This is my Christmas present for you guys, you know? I mean, this does it for me.
From the town, the cave is in a remote area. The journey treacherous. The car does not fare well climbing the steep mountain road. So we set off on foot, led by tiny tour guides.
All right, well, this is it, folks.
Finally, the woods fall behind, and the cave welcomes us with a gaping mouth.
We're here. This is awesome, man. Wow. That's pretty impressive. I don't see anything yet. I think I saw something. I gotta get my camera, man.
And so did we. We set up 2 different Muse 8 cameras. A high 8mm cam and a Beta SX digital camera.
I think I saw one. Dang, that was fast. Wasn't an insect either.
We decided to leave the cameras rolling.
Have you ever seen any of that?
Pues yo creo que alguna mejor. Maybe a kind of snake or something, because there are a lot of things that fly, and maybe it's a snake that's there down below.
You'll recall when we went searching for rods back in November. We found them in Tierra Santa, and here's what they look like. Sort of like flying sticks with fins. So what's different about the rods from the Cave of the Sparrows? Just watch. Look what our Beta camera caught the first day. Shooting straight into the cave, we see rods flying by, one after another, over and over again. In just 10 minutes, we count them, dozens of them. Every few seconds, another rod. They fly in from both sides. They fly alongside the birds. Sometimes we see more than one in our shot. Sometimes they look like they're chasing each other, all of them whizzing by.
I don't know how in God's creation we're going to catch one of these things. I mean, they're so elusive. They're so fast.
The cave rods can come in swarms. We'd see a lot, then none. Even when they weren't swarming, we'd catch a lot of individual rods in the morning hours, but they'd be spaced apart, just like our San Diego rods. By nightfall, we couldn't find any rods. We bring our new findings back to our San Diego expert, insect specialist David Faulkner from the Museum of Natural History. He is impressed.
You have a lot of added information. You have things, a lot more examples, and they're very consistent with what you've seen before. Can I identify them as an insect? No way.
How about the swarming? David tells me both insects and birds will do that.
It could be for mate recognition. It could be for feeding. It could be a response to something, that they all come at the same time.
But not everyone agrees with him. Gary David belongs to the San Diego MUFON Society, a group that investigates UFO photos.
Oh, that's a big one.
I would just say it's flying fast.
as opposed to actually being big.
Gary believes the rod-like objects are everyday insects, distorted by the video camera.
If the object was close to the lens and slightly out of focus, you can still get an elongation effect even at high shutter speeds. Now, the farther away from the lens it is, the less that effect will show up.
Do all insects or all invertebrates that are flying look the same when they're slowed down and blurry? And I can't imagine that. There's a tremendous amount of consistency in what these things look like.
And that's what got us as well. The rods in Jose's video, the rods from San Diego, and the rods of Mexico look very much the same. But what are they?
What's it
David
responding
says
to
there's
to
only
make it
one way to
go
tell
in
for
that?
sure.
But the next step would be you've got to get it. You've got to trap it somehow.
Which is exactly what Jose has been hoping to do.
I thought we could just do a swoop of a net and just pick up, a few bodies here. But you know what? Those doggone things are so fast. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm totally blown away.
It does seem an impossible task, but it's still Jose's ultimate goal. He knows finding just one body could change history forever, and perhaps change the name of the mysterious dark pit known as Sótano de las Golondrinas, Cave of the Swallows, to Cave of the Rods.
That was wild. That's how I fell into that other woman's story, by doing that. And now I found these things, these bird, skyfish, whatever the hell it is, rod. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
No. Look in Discord.
No. I have not either. Okay. What the hell is that? Oof. It kind of looks a little bit like it, but it doesn't look like it flies. So, sorry guys to bring you into a supernatural world today, but when I see things, I have to look at them. Sorry. Like Sherry said, maybe it's something undiscovered because nobody can catch it. This does look a lot like that, though. Kinda. What is that? Does it have a name?
Look in your Discord.
Again?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, derp. In cryptozoology and ufology, rods, sometimes known as skyfish or solar entities, are said to be flying creatures from a few inches to a few feet in length that are invisible to humans but visible to cameras, both film and digital, both still and video. You went looking for this because you like this kind of weird stuff.
Yep. I was like, oh, I gotta look this up.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And so why is that cave full of them? But you only see them here or there. Now I'm gonna be outside with my camera looking for flying hot dogs. Butterfly hot dog. Hot dog, sea slug, or something. Yeah. Like seriously. Just sitting there with the camera. I got one. Did you get one? They said that they're everywhere, so I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's crazy looking. Sea
Huge
slug.
nets were set up in the same surveillance cameras and captured images into the trap. When the nets were inspected, the rods were no more than regular moss and other what? Proof of the appearance. Hold on, I missed something there.
Maybe it's the way the camera sees it. I don't know. That's craziness. Wild. Yeah, Phil. We're gonna be doing the Molly Bish case too soon. It's another one that I've been looking at. It's coming. That's a promise. It's another sad situation up in Phil's area, obviously. Well, that last one was kind of in your area too. Oh boy.
That's why I was thinking wisdom, because it's dark and damp.
For there, but like, what about when they found him in San Diego over top of the news studio? That's different. It could be though. She could be absolutely right. Hold on. Skyfish.
Look at Discord again.
I'm in there now.
It's not for me.
I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at. Jesus, hold on. Well, there's that. Was it start off as a chicken, turned into that?
Evolution.
Chicken that evolved into a flying worm. I did see those, Stormy. Thank you for that, by the way. That's cute, Molly. And then this could be it too, you guys. There it is. The stuffed animal version of it. That's what they look like. Got to love it. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look at something funny here real quick before we go anywhere. We don't normally do it on cold case days, but what the hell? Never hurts to laugh a little bit, no matter what the day is.
What month of pregnancy does a woman begin to look pregnant?
September.
She really said September. Did everybody else? The question was, in what month during a pregnancy does a woman start to look pregnant? You know, like when do you start showing when you're pregnant? You said September.
What month?
I believe that woman hit her head sometime in her life.
To name something you wouldn't try even once. Matthew.
Sex on a train.
Sex on a train. No! Funnily enough, our survey people didn't come up with that one.
Something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house. Rob.
Naked grandma!
Naked, huh?
Naked grandma! No, I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that either. Real or fictional? Name a famous Willie. Willie the Pooh?
What?
That's Winnie's cousin, Willie. Yeah, that's Winnie's cousin, Willie. You guys probably haven't seen him yet, but yeah, he's out there.
Hi, Kathy. You know John?
Yes, we do.
Doesn't she have pretty nipples, pretty dimples there?
Gentlemen, tell me, what is your favorite part of our newlywed game set? Jim?
Probably wife number 2.
Edgar.
Fish love?
Sorry.
Wish list.
You all know about fish love now.
Right.
Don't forget about fish love. That's important shit right there, folks.
Name something you feel before you buy it.
Excited.
A vegetable you marinate.
Grapes.
Name something you might buy that could turn out to be phony.
Yeah, a horse.
The dreaded phony horse gag.
Name something that can kill a lively party.
A gun. The most romantic sounding musical instrument.
Drone.
Name something you might accidentally leave on all night.
Yes. Your shoes.
Name something people take with them to the beach.
Turkey.
Something you buy in a supermarket.
Turkey.
Up and stuffed.
Turkey.
Describe these words that begin with the letters S-T-A. Go.
Oh no, I'm sorry. With the
We asked 100 people to name a game you can play in bed. Steve.
I Spy.
Ice.
Squeeze.
peanut butter.
Now. A group of pill pushers?
I mean, it works.
Name a yellow fruit.
Orange.
Name something that comes in pairs. Fred.
Bananas. Oh, yeah.
We asked 100 people to name a famous author. Kenny.
Shakespeare.
Arthur Shakespeare.
Name something that follows the word pork.
You pine.
Huh?
I actually saw this one.
You pine.
You fine.
Gentlemen, other than popcorn, what is your favorite thing to nibble on at the movies? Steve?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna get shot. Her boobs. I don't know if you.
Name a part of the body that gets bigger as adults get older. Freddie, penis.
Name something a man has that he'd be upset if someone else used it.
How about his jockstrap?
How many decades will your husband say his mother has lived? Gloria?
10 decades.
10 decades. Gentlemen, how many decades has your mother lived? Daryl, you have a troubled look on your face. What's the matter?
Oh, I don't know what a decade is. 40th birthday, so she'd be
Good.
It's 4 years a decade. She'd be 10 decades.
10 decades.
Wow.
See, the biggest problem here in that situation is when they left that day, she finally realized how dumb the man was she married.
Right.
There's the biggest problem right there.
Something usually done only once a week.
Make love. Tell me a slang term that means wife.
Bitch.
Oh. Good answer. Name something you wouldn't want the police to find in the trunk of your car.
Pickles.
Name something a teenage boy can do for hours at a time.
Masturbate.
That was coming.
It has to warm up before you use it, sir.
How about your wife?
Mary Beth prayed for snow on her wedding day.
Yes, I did. It was 32 degrees and no snow on my wedding day, but I had 8 inches on my honeymoon.
Name a part of the body everybody has only one of. Sarah.
Big toe.
What will your husband say is his favorite thing to squeeze in the supermarket? Jane?
I'd say his meat.
Pardon me?
His meat.
Give me a slang name for policeman.
Dick.
What'd you say?
Dick.
Okay. May we see what he said? Name a state that begins with the letter M.
Mexico.
After 100 people to name a game you could play in the bath. Annette.
Scuba diving.
Something your neighbor has you wish you had?
A beautiful wife.
Is famous for? I'm thinking pasta.
Another sort of question that you might lie about.
I would say I'm 39.
Most of the electricity in our home flows from the blank to the what?
From the plug to the.
Oh, it sounds like you stopped that just in time.
What's that?
So it sounded like you stopped that one just in time.
I didn't mean to. It dropped off.
Mm.
But yeah, good point though.
Or she marries him.
You just got it, Lynn. What would you say?
His name.
His what?
Name.
His name.
Name something made of leather? Yes, sir.
A purse.
You're going to be slightly embarrassed when I finish this question. A purse! Name something made of leather that a cowboy uses.
Describe the weather with a word or phrase that would also describe your wife.
Wet.
Wet.
Oh.
Name an animal whose eggs you'd probably never eat for breakfast.
Hamster.
Hamster. Name something in your house you would yell at if it stopped working.
Probably spouse.
An old woman's breasts.
Things that sag.
Reason you might stay indoors on a beautiful day.
Because it's raining. Something made of wool.
Sheep.
Police commissioner said, I think Batman and Robin are blank.
Queer.
Name a day of the year when you really want to be with friends.
December.
Name something normally worn only by children. Michael.
Clothes.
We asked 100 women, name something women borrow from each other. Chris. One another's husbands. Their husbands, Chris.
Next question, gentlemen. What is the one thing the people on the other side of your street have more of than you do?
Cars.
Cars. Your wife said they have more grass than you do.
Grass. What have you done?
I wouldn't bet on that.
Let's name a famous robber. Joe.
Cops. I said, name a time that most people get up. And being the Einstein that you are, you said morning. Our survey said zip. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, I then said, name a time that most people go to bed. You said, of course, night. Our survey said 2.
You know what is so great about this show? We have talented people like the Ramiro family on our show. Paul is a concert pianist. Steve, what do you do?
I sell frozen bull semen for artificial insemination.
All right, Steve.
Oh.
You? Fine, thank you.
What's your story?
Well, I'm in young girls' pants. I manufacture pants.
Name part of the telephone.
The bottom part.
One of the 3 bears.
Yogi.
Name something with a hole in the middle. Michelle?
Hole punch.
I know everyone in America said what the audience did. What'd she say?
Okay, fill them in.
You.
No, that's incorrect. I'm sorry. Fill the blanks in order or pick a tile, Chris, whatever you want to do. Okay, fill them in. I. No, sir, that's incorrect. Okay, fill them in.
A.
Wrong. I've never had this happen. It's the first time. Chris? I know it. You know it? All right, fill it in. O. Yes. I. Yes. T. Yes. E. Yes.
Oh!
I made 100 people and asked them to name a way of toasting someone. Michelle.
Over fire.
If you could travel to any foreign country in the world, where would you go?
Pakistan. I wrap rubber bands around my T-shirt and stick it in tie-dye. Yes. These are the ugly sandals that lesbians wear. Birkenstocks.
What was the most infantile suggestion you made to your wife on your
Oh, I gotta
date,
change.
Joe?
I gotta
Why don't? What's the matter?
Oh, I was trying to say hi to a got change, but my tongue got all twisted. Yeah.
Gotcha. No problem.
Eat something.
All right. Patty says the most infantile suggestion was that she shouldn't be so closed-minded.
I should be looser, you know.
You were loose enough that night.
What country has the highest ratio of doctors to population?
The country with the most Jews. I would say Israel. You have a doctor in every family. It's a cousin, could be an uncle, a couple of specialists.
I'll agree.
You agree with that?
It's Israel.
It is?
Something you wash once a week. Claudia.
Yourself.
Yourself.
Some new people clothes.
Legs.
With 3 letters in its name. You said frog. Our survey said 0. 2 people would have to say that. Something that comes with a summer storm. You gave me the answer. Snow. Our survey said. Remind everyone, to Bob's shame, the answers he gave us, and give me 20 seconds on the clock, please. Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Alligator.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name. You said alligator. Our survey said.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Stormy, for that. It was entertaining. I have a bunch of those actually I had saved before, so probably get into some more of those down the road. That'll do it though for today, guys. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. And if you happen to see any rods floating around your hair, take a picture. But again, thank you guys for joining us today for the cold case and copying a cold case. And I don't know what's going on tonight here. You never know. We may do paranormal stuff since I can't seem to keep my internet on and my power on or anything on. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for joining us today, though. I appreciate you guys very much. Don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, and don't change nothing. You guys are the beautiful people. Mama Bear, thank you for joining me. Appreciate you as always. Guys, please make sure to, if you haven't done it, to jump over, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share it out from Mama Bear's side, please, and thank you. It's pinned in the chat. Besides that, have a great rest of your day, folks. I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.